Today on the channel, from Snake Eyes GI Joe Origins the movie, we've got Scarlet and we've got Akiko. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another GI Joe Classified review and unboxing. We've got Akiko, we've got Scarlet from the Snake Eyes GI Joe movie. But for all your GI Joe Classified series figures needs, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. So once again, we return to the Snake Eyes movie, and these two are scragglers. We saw Storm Shadow, we saw Baroness, and of course we saw Snake Eyes. Those came out a couple months ago. I think we reviewed those maybe a month ago on the channel at least. Those hit the stores, but for some reason, Scarlet and Akiko were missing. Well, a month later, whatever it's been, these are starting to hit, and I actually saw these hit every single Target in my area this week. Akiko doesn't seem to be selling, but Scarlet seems to be the hard-to-find one, and I think there's reasons for that, and we'll get into it when we start unboxing her. But we're going to do it like we do all the reviews and unboxings on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We'll see where it goes from there. So let's start it off. Let's start off with Akiko. Now, I got to tell you guys, I have still yet to see the Snake Eyes movie. One of these days, very soon, I'm going to find time. I'm not a big movie guy, as I've discussed on the channel in the past. Unless it's something I'm very interested in, I'm not going to spend the time to watch a movie. I don't watch movies on a whim and a hope that it's going to be good. I'm so weird. This is my head. I said, I'm not going to waste my valuable time. I got so little time in life. I don't want to waste it on something I might not like. But then, how do you know? There's probably a million movies out there I absolutely would love if I just took the time to watch it. But I just don't want to take the gamble. Does this make any sense? It doesn't make any sense to anybody, I'm sure. But something like Snake Eyes, I love G.I. Joe. Even though it's probably going to be a terrible movie, guess what? I love G.I. Joe that much. I will invest the time to see that. Black Widow, Marvel Legends. Maybe not the best superhero movie of all time. I will invest time to see that because it's something comforting in a way. It's something I know I'll probably enjoy. So I'll take the chance to watch something like that. But if there's some movie, let's just call it Back to the Future. Nothing against Back to the Future. I'm sure it's great. I've just never seen it. I just don't know the premise. I don't have a toy line or toys or something that brings me to that movie. So I just don't have a desire to see it, and I've never had the desire there. Star Wars, I'm going to see every Star Wars movie because I grew up with Star Wars. I played with Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. So it's really weird. I'm sure, like I said, I've missed many movies. And the real funny head scratcher of all this is I am one college credit away from a minor in film. Yes, believe that, a minor in film. However, my minor is in film noir. For you movie buffs out there, you know about film noir movies and movies of the past, especially film noir. So I can talk film noir all day long. I just can't talk Back to the Future, The Goonies, and I don't know, Breakfast Club, things like that I have no idea of and never watched. So there we go. There's a little movie history here. I will watch Snake Eyes. I'll get to it. And long story short, Akiko, only in the Snake Eyes movie. I don't know the movie yet. We'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind. But huge miss with this one. I feel there's a huge miss, as Akiko is a character we've never heard of in the G.I. Joe universe. Why couldn't this have been Jinx? We all know Jinx. We love Jinx. She was in the 86 movie. We love that. Or 87 movie. We love that character. I wish this was Jinx. There's enough people in the G.I. Joe universe, you don't need to make up new characters. That's how I sit from right here, where I'm sitting. Yeah. But here it is. Let's look at the packaging here. I don't mind this packaging. However, I do mind the numbering of the figures on this one. It does not blend in with the other classified series. So you see, number 18, you have to put these lined up together. It sticks out like a sore thumb. These should be labeled differently. Start over, do ABC, don't number them. There should be something like that going on. I think that's a miss. I don't enjoy that at all. Yeah, so there you go. But the packaging's okay for what it is. Take that out of there. I don't mind this. I like blacker, darker packaging like this with that grayish white background. Very cool. I love the weapons, the big window box we see with classified series. G.I. Joe right up front, you know what we're getting into. I love artwork for the figure here, and then you get the figure. I like to see a glamour shot of the figure on the back, and unfortunately we don't get that. We'll get to it here. 18, number 18 in the line. You can look these up online. I don't like that either. I get it. Today's day and age, people love to be on their phones and look stuff up. Not me. I want this stuff on the packaging. It's part of the whole total presentation for me. Could just be old man Kyle talking, but that's what I want to see. Another great glamour shot of the artwork here of the character Akiko. I don't mind this either, so that's pretty cool. Now the back is where trouble sets in. I don't necessarily hate this Snake Eyes picture, but it should be much smaller, maybe up at the top. put a little classified thing of the different cross-sell of the different characters in the set so we know who we're looking for. And then a little picture of the figure as well for the cross-sell. And, you know, show what this thing, show the articulation, show it off, show your wares. A lot of warnings, all that kind of stuff there, and UPCs on the bottom. So that's the packaging on Akiko. Is what it is. You guys tell me your thoughts on the packaging in the comments. Very cool, though. Background there. I could see people maybe possibly saving that for a diorama or a background of a display, something like that. See you later up high. There she goes. No twist ties, no ties, none of that kind of stuff. Akiko in the old plastic prison. She's got a little of that off-white color that Storm Shadow had in the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes Origins figures. So we're accustomed to that. And then she's got black. Comes with different blades out there and then a long staff as well. So she's armed to the teeth. Armed to the teeth. And I can't wait to see what she's up to in the movie. Maybe she'll steal my heart and never let go like young Rio. I mean, stranger things have happened out there. We'll see. Maybe she'll be a great character. Beloved G.I. Joe character. Something tells me probably not. It's tough to introduce new characters, like I said, into a license that is beloved by many. See you later. To try to win them over. It's just tough to do. There's so many characters we could have used instead, but is what it is. We'll look at these weapons first. Not terrible. So these are kind of like long knives here. Long bladed knives. They're separate. I like the black handle on them and the silver blade with the point. And it's got a little detail into the blade itself, so it's just not plain Jane, so it's got a little bit of love shown to it, so that's pretty cool. Same thing with the long sword. This is probably what I'll have her use. Hopefully, yes, we can't. I was hoping we could store these knives on her somewhere, but that does not seem to be the case. Usually with our G.I. Joe Classified figures, we can store all their weapons and everything on their backpacks or something. That's not going to be the case here, so that is a little disappointing. You're going to have to leave a little baggie or something to the side for her. Now let's get down to her here. She's got the single articulation, articulation. You got the elbow articulation, it is not double jointed. You got wrist articulation moving up and down, side to side, all around. Head does move, of course. You get the double jointed knees. Yes, double jointed knees. Boot swivel, there it is. Ankle up and down, not really side to side. It feels a little light here. She does have those unfortunate high heels. We see these a lot with Marvel Legends. She's going to be a tough one to get to stand. You're going to have the old ringside collectible stand. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. To put her on a stand is probably our best way to get her to stay, as those high heels are notoriously tricky to get your figures to stay. They'll fall over. You guys know how it is. You've had high-heeled figures in the past, I'm sure. Waist articulation. She's got the diaphragm there. She's got the thigh swivel. Her legs go side to side. She can do the splits, all that kind of fun stuff. So there's a little of the articulation. This seems to be a new body mold here. She's got kind of the baggy pants up top. So that is new. The holes, though, in there kind of take away from the aesthetics of it all, if you ask me. Just the pinholes there. I wish it was pinless, but we're not quite there yet. I think in 2022, 2023, we're going to see a lot more pinless joints across all figure lines out there. It seems to be the wave of the future. So be prepared for that. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay, but we're getting new molds here. I got to think they're going to get the most out of their molds. Somebody else is going to have these baggy pants in the future, so be aware of that out there. Very minimalistic design here. Like I said, it's got that yellow off-white, yellowish white color to her, kind of matches Storm Shadow a little bit. A little bit of silver piping here on the skirt, and then a nice silver piping in her braid, a very cool braid in the hair and all that kind of stuff. So you get a little bit of color given to us. I will say the paint is a little bit sloppy. As you guys know, it's very difficult to get the white and the black paint to make the lines extremely straight. So we got a little bit of overspray on both ends, all over the kind of the figure. It's not perfect by any means of the paint. If you look at it from a far distance, it looks fine, but when you get up and close, you can see some of the joints, you can see some of the issues going on there. So that is a little disappointing, but honestly to be expected. Do we have the drop-down hips here? We do. Yeah, we do. I don't know how I feel about that, but there's a little extra articulation with that. Now the head, brand new head. I'm not familiar with the character in the movie. Obviously, I have not seen it yet, but this looks really good. I could see people using this head sculpt for different things. You know, it's a kind of a plain Jane head sculpt in a way, so you could use it on different heads, different bodies, make different figures and different toy lines, so I could see customizers enjoying this figure. And I could see a lot of people popping this head off and maybe putting like a Storm Shadow type head on here. You could have different kind of ninjas with this if you really wanted to as well. So there's a lot to like about this figure, even though we don't know the character. At least I don't know the character. Hopefully, like I said, she steals my heart like a young Rio. Rio stole my heart, never let go. Hopefully, Akiko is some of the same. She possibly could on the pegs. She could be the next Rio on the pegs. We'll see how big of shipments these go out to with the Walmart's Targets and see how they go. Honestly, I don't think these are going to fly off the shelf like the G.I. Joe classified figures do. I think that's a pretty fair assessment right there. But Akiko, not too bad. It's always good to have new G.I. Joe figures. I just wish they were G.I. Joe figures that we knew that had a long history. We're still so early in the line. We've had so many doubles and now new figures. We need some classic guys. Let's start pumping these guys out. We got to get to it. Speaking of classic G.I. Joe characters we all know and love, well, that's Scarlet. So we did get Scarlet. And by all means, when I saw this on the pegs, I said, this could be the best Snake Eyes Origins movie figure so far, this Scarlet here. The Snake Eyes is pretty solid, but this one looks pretty good. This is almost akin to the Scarlet we wish we would have had in Series 1 of G.I. Joe Classified, and I do have that one here, and we'll compare that one a little bit. But let's look at the packaging first. Little artwork glamour shot of Scarlet right there. G.I. Joe Classified line down there. You got Snake Eyes movie logo. Same background we saw with Akiko. Then you got Scarlet in there looking only like Scarlet can look. She does have her crossbow that was in Classified Series 1 figure, so getting some reuse out of that, it looks like. Maybe it's a little different, actually. We'll compare and contrast. We'll see. So there's that. On the side, she is number 20 in the G.I. Joe Classified line right there. And then you got all the stuff you can look up online if you want to. And then you got Scarlet on the side, looking only like she can look. And the back, same back we saw before, same kind of stuff holds true. So let's get her out. Let's take a look at Scarlet, see what's going on here. There it is, same background. See you later, up high. Whoa, plastic prison, it's time. There's old Scarlet. Looking pretty good. I love it. Let's see, pop her out. There's the old crossbow. Not a lot of weapons with this one. See you later, up high, off the screen. All right, let's get down to the old brass tacks here. Let's see what we got with Scarlet going on. Same articulation that we saw with Akiko. We got the double jointed knees. Ooh, a little tight joints, but I don't hate that. All the same there. So it looks like there's some reuse here, but I gotta say the head sculpt on Scarlet. This is the Scarlet head sculpt we wanted in the classified line. A lot of people were really down on that first G.I. Joe Scarlet, myself included a little bit. It looked too cartoonist and too cartoony, I should say, and she looked too young. It just looked like a young girl playing Scarlet, which isn't bad, but that doesn't seem the universe they're trying to create there, so it did seem off. We did get a repainted version, kind of an updated version of Duke, Roadblock, Scarlet that we saw. That one was better, but I can see a lot of people saying this is going to be my G.I. Joe Classified Scarlet. Not just the movie line, but the regular line. It's got good coloring to it. It's not flashy, bright colors. It's kind of dull. It seems more realistic, I guess we would say, compared to that Classified Series 1 Scarlet, and I'll bust that one out right now. Might as well, since we're talking about it, we'll have it here on the table. Put her on the stand. There she is. So you can see a lot of bright yellows, bright oranges. But Scarlet, if you remember back to the original G.I. Joe Real American Hero cartoon, she did have bright colors. But it's trying to make it into the modern odes to the past with modern day changes. I think this one had some odes to the past where the head was the miss. This one, a little bit more muted coloring on it. And then a beautiful head sculpt here. A beautiful head. I guess it must look like the actress that plays her. We'll see. I'll find out when I see the movie, like I said. But really cool. I love the braid she's got going on here. Very like a horse braid is kind of what it reminds you of. But it looks really good. It looks like something that in real world would be used with this hairstyle if you're battling ninjas and stuff, of course. Because we've all battled ninjas. I mean, sometimes I go try to get gas in my Wagoneer. Don't even get me started on these gas prices, especially with a 21-gallon tank in a Wagoneer that gets 8 miles to the gallon. Whoo! Break you. It'll break you. It'll break your wallet every time. You gotta fight ninjas sometimes on your way to the gas station. You guys have all been there. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no storage of weapons, no extra weapons on her. She does have her little, it does not remove, but it's a little waist belt with pockets and stuff like that, like any good ninja fighter would need. So we got that. We do get her crossbow, like I said, and it is actually a different crossbow than this one. And I prefer this one. This is more minimalistic. It's a smaller crossbow. This one seems to make a little bit more sense to me than this big, crazy one she had in Series 1 Classified Series. But that's her only weapon. I'm kind of surprised. I guess they had to save some money, as obviously Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Akiko, they're going to have a good amount of weapons. Baroness didn't have a ton, and Scarlet would not have a ton either. But as far as the female figures of the line between Baroness, Akiko, and Scarlet, I think Scarlet's my favorite. Maybe it's because I got a deep love for the old school Scarlet, and Baroness figure is okay. It's not as good as the first classified Baroness, so that falls out there. And Akiko, I just don't know the character, but it is what it is. It seems to work okay for what it's trying to represent, is how I figured it out. But Scarlet, very strong, and if you missed this Scarlet or passed because you didn't like the head sculpt, I think you could smoke and mirrors this Scarlet into your classified collection. I don't think anybody would turn their nose up at you, is what I would say, as this is a very, very solid figure, and I really do like this classified Scarlet, and that makes sense why she is the hardest one to find. In my travels, she's the one that's been missing, and it makes total sense with everything we said. So there you go. Any thoughts from you guys out there, though? You guys tell me in the comments. You picked these up, passing on these, seen them yet? You planning on getting this Scarlet? Do you have this Scarlet? A lot to talk about, so leave me a comment down below. Make sure you like this video. You made it this far. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter. _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram. And, of course, Pro Wrestling Tees. Search Kyle Peterson. So for Scarlet, Akiko, and Scarlet again, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.